Hi, this is Miles here, and if you were searching for someone to review the Elk Ridge knife, then this is the place to be. My name is Miles, and on my channel, I'm always releasing videos, survival videos, so consider subscribing. Also, at any time, you can click on the link below and get my free video series on survival skills. Now, onto this Elk Ridge knife that I just bought. Looks like a pretty nice case, and I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna tell you what I like about it and what I think that could be improved on it, or maybe you could improve on your pick. So the first thing we take it out, it's pretty nice. It's got a nice sheath on it that seems to fit pretty nice and tight. You can actually buckle it, which is nice. You can actually snap it closed so it doesn't fall out. Now as you take the blade out, the sheath is kind of a nice sheath. It's not leather. It's actually made out of like a canvas type material, but it does have these, you know, three screws right here, so you can't really cut through the sheath very well, and that's kind of nice, you know. And the fact that it actually can stay in is kind of nice. Now here's the blade itself. As we unwrap it, the first thing I notice that's a really good thing about this blade is the fact that the blade actually goes all the way through the handle. You see that? When you're gonna buy a blade for camping or for a survival situation, so to speak, you know, when you're out in the wilderness, you want to get a blade that's not a folding blade in the first place, because what you're going to be using it for, a folding blade tends to not be as strong and as tough and as durable as a blade that goes all the way through. Some blades, they stop right here at the handle, and the problem with that is that when you try to put it under a load, like to chop wood and stuff, because actually what you do is you put it on there and you get another stick and just hit it on top and it will cut through. Well, you don't want this part to bust off. That's why you want the blade to go all the way through. I really like that about this blade, is the fact that it goes all the way through. I also like the fact that it's not serrated, okay? Because some people like serrated parts, like at the end right here, and the amount of times that you actually use a serrated edge are very few. And so most of the time you don't really need a serrated edge. And so what you want is a nice flat clean edge, because you're going to be doing a lot of fine cutting and a lot of, you know, fine slicing and stuff, and you don't want the serrated part to get in your way, really. And so that's another thing that I like about this knife. One thing that is problematic about this knife, so to speak, is the fact that when you go out with a knife camping or in a survival, you know, out in the wilderness, you don't want a blade that's quite this long. This is a little bit too long. You want one that's about 3 or 4 inches like this. That's all you really need for a blade, is one that's 3 or 4 inches, because it's more workable and more, you know, you're able to cut more finely and stuff when you're trying to cut pieces to start a fire, like the little V that you cut out to start a fire. This would be a much, you know, it's much better if it's a little shorter and more able to, you know, you can carry it easier and you can use it just a little bit more accurate. How can I say that? A little bit more accurate, because when you've got the long blade right here, it's a little bit more, not quite as accurate when you're cutting and stuff. So the blade could be a little bit shorter. But all in all, this blade is a very good blade. And I also like the fact that when I picked this blade, one of the things that I picked it for was the way it fit in my hand. And so when you're going to buy a blade to go out in the wilderness with, you want to make sure that it's a blade that fits well in your hand, okay? You don't want to pick a blade that doesn't fit your hand, because when you start to work with it, when you start to use it, it's gonna wear you out really fast if the blade doesn't fit well in your hand. So when you buy a blade, make sure that you pick a blade that fits well in your hand. And I actually picked between about 20 different ones, and this was the one that fit my hand the best, and that is why I got this blade for now. You know, it is a little bit longer. If I can find one that's a little bit shorter next, I will. You know, otherwise, this is a really nice blade, and if you like it, it's the Elk Ridge. The Elk Ridge hunting knife is what it is, and It was about $40, I guess. Anyway, it's a very nice knife, and if you would like to get it, it's a good one. Anyway, please leave comments below and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and consider subscribing. And also, remember, you can click on the link below at any time and get my free video series on survival skills. It's your choice, no pressure. Anyway, this is Miles, and have a good day.